Right now, I'd like to call up to the stage the Niagara Foundation.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. What a great idea of having Interfaith fair all together. I would like to thank the organizers and also all the partners. We are, as the Niagara Foundation, one of the partners tonight. So let's give a round of applause for the organizers and the partners and the sponsors tonight. Thank you. Myself, I introduce myself as a Georgian, Turkish, American, immigrant, Muslim, educator, and leader. So I have all those different faiths and different cultures and different background on my shoulders. So tonight, I was invited here to talk to you as a Niagara Foundation volunteer to talk a little bit about what Niagara Foundation does and also a new campaign that Niagara Foundation volunteers support. Since its inception, 2004, I am one of the members and supporters of Niagara Foundation. Niagara Foundation has been within the community, partnering with all different faith organizations and providing public global affairs, interfaith engagement, academic affairs, and all different special events to provide hospitality, enrichment, and leadership to the communities that they serve. Some of those activities and events that Niagara Foundation organized or partnered recently is they are partnering with the Peace Camp. They had a youth interfaith iftar dinner. They have a Thanksgiving dinner. They have workshops with different organizations and faith groups throughout the year. And they have Abrahamic tent iftar dinners, which is open to public, and you all are invited to join us. Niagara Foundation's honorary president is Fethullah Gülen, very known as Hizmet Movement. He is a Turkish Muslim scholar and thinker who is an educational and humanitarian activist, and he was listed as one of the most influential public intellectual by the World Foreign Policy magazine and also the Time magazine as well. How many of you have been in Turkey before? Wow, we have many here. So Niagara Foundation and also myself have done numerous field trips to Turkey because Niagara Foundation believes in interfaith dialogue, and Turkey is a beautiful country to visit, to see all different faiths in one location, one geography. This is a video of beautiful Turkey, which is my hometown, home country. Since I don't have enough time to show you that, but you can Google it, 2017 Turkey introduction video. You can watch it from there. So, as I said, Niagara Foundation organized many trips to international locations, including Turkey, to support interfaith dialogue and to support interfaith approach. Another approach that Niagara Foundation is planning to support and plan in the upcoming weeks is helping our Earth with the climate change. Another activity which is recently Niagara Foundation volunteers are supporting is the human rights, living in peace and human rights. For that, some of the Niagara Foundation volunteers have started a new campaign named as You Are My Hope. So tonight, you all are our hope. I will be talking about how you will be our hope as well. As you might know, when we talk about human rights issues in the United States, we usually talk about discrimination, fair wages, forced labor, freedom of association, harassment, health and safety, land rights, working hours, those kind of things. But when we look at the human rights issues in the world, it's a little different. You know what's happening in Yemen, in China, in Palestine, and everywhere in the world. And one of those places is in Turkey nowadays. if you look at these numbers, it's a little scary. The human rights issues or violations that are happening in my beautiful country nowadays is heartbreaking. So that's why me and a couple of my colleagues and friends started this campaign to increase the awareness of human rights violations that are happening in Turkey. More than 1,500 non-governmental, not-for-profit organizations are shut down, and almost 160,000 people were arrested, and more than 200,000 people are under investigation. Among those people who have lost their jobs is more than 200,000 people, including judges, prosecutors, lawyers, and so many others. There are more than 20,000 women, including housewives or teachers or civil servants, arrested in Turkey because of human rights violations as well. Even with those women, there are 2,000 babies who had to live in prison, and this little girl, Betul, has been in jail with her mother since May 2019. So you might have seen our brochures or postcards with this picture. She had to live with her mom in the jail. Journalists, we have like more than 300 journalists arrested and almost 200 media outlets shut down, and 1,000 journalists forced to leave the country. And more than 3,000 educational institutions shut down, with more than 6,000 academics and 33,000 teachers dismissed from their jobs. Even mayors, elected mayors, are put in jail because of these human rights violations. And Pastor Brunson was one of those who had to live in the jail for such time, and then recently he came back to the United States. Another gentleman is Enes Kanter, who is an NBA player in Boston Celtics. He is one of those people whose passports is revoked, and due to that revocation, he was not able to even go to UK to play the basketball game for Boston Celtics recently. So he is one of those citizens that the government requested to be placed in Interpol Red Notice. And since then, Enes Kanter is kind of working as an ambassador for this campaign to increase the awareness of human rights violations in Turkey. 60,000 people flee the country because of this, and some died with their children on the way. So what do we do as volunteers in this campaign? We are trying to support democracy in Turkey. So we have all like catalogs, postcards, and other things that we are trying to increase the awareness. With a small group of people, we protested in front of Chicago Tribune in the Human Rights Day back in December. We started to have presentations at the local libraries to inform the people in our neighborhoods that we live in. We started to visit interfaith leaders to talk about what's happening in our home country. And another way of building awareness is using the truck and the advertisement on it. Enes Kanter has been reaching out to political leaders and telling about these issues. We were at the Bulls versus Boston Celtics game with our volunteers to support Enes Kanter and also to raise awareness about these violations. We have our website, yourmyhope.org, Instagram page, Twitter page, YouTube page, and Facebook page talking about all of these violations. And recently, Enes Kanter started a petition in change.org to sign a petition to reach out to related parties in the United States or in the European Union or in Turkey to stop these human rights violations. So tonight, we would ask your support by signing this petition. If you have your cell phones, you can directly scan the QR code or type the shortened URL to reach out the petition in change.org. Or on your way out, you can grab one of the postcards or the magazines that you can get some more information about this. So what do we really want from you all at the end of this presentation? 1, you may sign the petition. 2, you may follow us on social media and share the information. And 3, reach out to as many people as possible. And 4, make more people sign the petition. Thank you so much for listening to me carefully. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer the questions if we have enough time.